Welcome to Learning the Ropes, kind of. This is going to be our predictions episode for AEW x New Japan Forbidden Door. Tyler, are you excited?
Okay, so let me just break the curtain a little bit. That's not the saying at all. We're just gonna roll with it. I had no idea what this was until you guys sent me a text like this morning. We were like, "You want to do predictions tonight?" And I'm like, "I don't know what we're doing, but sure, I'm in. I'll predict whatever." So
well, don't worry, Tyler. We'll give you a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little bit of lead-in into every single match, so you know kind of what's going on. Since you don't watch Dynamite weekly like me and Andrew do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for the people watching, whatever at home, Tyler is familiar with both All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have shown him a multitude of New Japan Pro Wrestling matches, and he usually joins in on us watching AEW pay-per-views. Last time he joined us to watch wrestling live was Double or Nothing a couple months back.
I predicted almost everything right.
Right,
almost.
And we did do a dry run on these predictions then. And so now this is the real thing.
I know the lore behind AEW more than I know the lore behind like every other kind of wrestling. So this is new for me though.
This is
New Japan. Oh.
So this is All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door pay-per-view event. They are hosting a show together where it's AEW guys versus New Japan guys, basically for the most part. So first match we're going to be talking about is going to be the buy-in. So that's AEW's version of a pre-show. Only one match in the buy-in this time. It's going to be Max Caster of the Acclaimed and Gun Club, also known as the Ass Boys. Billy Gunn, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, facing the team from New Japan Pro Wrestling's LA Dojo, Yuya Uemura, Alex Coughlin, the DKC, and Kevin Knight. There's not a lot of build for this match. It's just kind of thrown in as the pre-show match. Yeah, what do you guys think?
I'm not sure, because I'm a little in between on whether or not the class from the LA Dojo, as cool as it is, I hope that literally every time they do Forbidden Door, the LA Dojo sends some dudes, because I feel like it's cool for them to get a showcase, but do they go over Max and the Ass Boys? I'm going with no. I'm going with the Gun Club plus Max Caster.
Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Gonna go with Dojo takes it because that guy's got a cool mustache.
That guy does have a cool mustache.
And I think the power of a stash kind of beats any moves you got. So,
yeah, I'm gonna agree with Tyler as reppin' LA proud over here. I'm gonna go with the Dojo boys. Now we are going to. So the way this is gonna work. Oh man, we should have talked about this before we started.
Who cares?
This. But anyway,
roll with it.
Each match is going to have 2 points available for us. So either the first point is for who wins the match, and then we have additional questions which are worth another point based around this match. So in this specific one, we're going to be asking who is taking the pin, because of course this is a first fall to the finish, and so only one person is getting pinned in this entire matchup. Tyler, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think is getting pinned? You said Gun Club's losing, so who do you think from Gun Club is going to get pinned?
Oh, who's the guy with the snapback?
That is Max Caster.
Max Caster.
All right, Andrew, what are your thoughts?
He looks like a heel.
I'm gonna be real. No offense to your LA Pride and the LA Dojo. I'm picking 1 out of 4. I'm saying it's gonna be the DKC. That's who's eating the pin from the LA Dojo, in my opinion.
I think they're going to do something kind of cool, and I think Mr. Ass himself, Billy Gunn's going to take the pin here.
You know, I could see that. I feel like that's That's interesting booking.
You know, Billy Gunn, former tag team champion in the WWE, former Intercontinental champion. I think it gives a really big rub on any of the LA Dojo guys that pinned him. So I think that's my leaning.
Yeah.
Build up some new stars.
Yeah. I feel that's kind of why I would think maybe the LA Dojo team will win. But also, like, I don't know if they're gonna do the kind of AEW booking that's like, and all these dojo guys look super great, but they don't quite get the win yet because they're all, not as I know that it's a whole different process going through the LA dojo than it is of like they're not rookies, but they're going to look like rookies to the audience. And yeah, I feel like Billy Gunn would be smart to eat the pin there. We'll talk about him later. He has a push in the Attitude Era that we'll talk about how that goes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the main podcast timeline.
Yeah, in the real podcast.
Now, moving on to the next match we got the Bullet Club, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, El Phantasmo, and Hikuleo versus Dudes with Attitude, Sting, Darby Allin, and representing Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi, and Hiromu Takahashi. Build up to this match, the Undisputed Elite, which is kind of a division-ish of Bullet Club, has been feuding with Sting and Darby Allin for a hot minute. They quote-unquote broke Sting's leg, and then Darby Allin and Sting quote-unquote broke Bobby Fish's leg. And so now it has led to this matchup with the Young Bucks, who are also Undisputed Elite, taking on Sting and just random people. Now, I'm thinking with this match that it's gonna go to the Bullet Club. You're kind of representing a lot more companies on the Bullet Club side, because you got AEW with the Young Bucks, and then El Phantasmo is a TNA guy. He's an Impact Wrestling guy, and then Hikuleo does the New Japan Strong stuff. And I think they're gonna try to give Bullet Club the win, especially to give the Young Bucks that kind of talking point, because as they've been kind of saying, they're kind of the catalyst for this whole ass thing. So yeah, I think it's gonna go to the Bullet Club. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
I agree with you on this one. I think the Young Bucks are the new thing, right? Kinda.
I mean, yeah, they did just win the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
Yeah. I think they're gonna keep riding that high.
Andrew?
I will make it unanimous because I was thinking Bullet Club anyway. Because yeah, I think like you said, Matt. I think it'll be good for the Young Bucks to have that kind of. They get more momentum behind them, and they also being the guys who basically stopped working with New Japan to make AEW work with New Japan. It's something good for them to get the win, and also just for momentum, and a little bit because I don't know how many more wins Bullet Club is getting.
Yeah, for sure. And now for our bonus point, we're going to be doing Price is Right rules. So if you go over, you're out. And then closest person wins. How many super kicks are going to happen in this match? Tyler, are you familiar enough with the super kick to where if I say super kick, you know what it is?
Is it the move that those guys have? The fucking Young Bucks have? Is it that one?
Yeah, where
they do a lot of them.
Yeah.
They kick with their heel at the person's chin, extending their leg real far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it recently because it's the Sweet Chin Music is a super kick. Shawn Michaels is eventual, not quite when we've watched him in timeline yet, but his eventual finishing.
Also, that episode is not coming out for a minute, so
true.
Pulling the veil back, we've pre-recorded most of Learning the Ropes
so far
well in advance.
We're actually time travelers. They're lying to you.
We're like
4 weeks. We're 4 episodes ahead on Learning the Ropes. Anyway, Tyler, what do you think? How many super kicks?
17?
17 super kicks from
17.
Tyler. I'm gonna go a little bit more reasonable and just say 7.
I'm gonna go 17.
All right.
It's
Andrew.
New Japan, they go extra.
That's what. How much do I change what my guess was? Because I feel a little bad, like directly Price is writing Tyler, but I was already predicting 16. I think total over course of the match, I think it'll be like 16 super kicks. Because we're thinking between both teams, and so it's not just the Young Bucks who are going to be throwing super kicks. I'm also thinking we're going to get at least like one official like super kick party spot, basically, where they just hit a whole bunch of them. But then also they're going to be sort of interspersed throughout the rest of the action. So I'm thinking somewhere around 16.
All right. So we got 17, 16, and 7. Is that everyone's final answers?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It'll be great when it's 15 and Matt gets the point. Like,
Yeah.
we're just barely over.
And now we got in a 3-on-3 match, Les Sex Gods, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, as well as teaming with them Minoru Suzuki versus sort of the Blackpool Combat Club in Wheeler Yuta, Shuta Umino, and Eddie Kingston. Build to this match, Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho have been feuding for like 7 months, 8 months. I don't even know.
It's not even that long, but it's definitely they've been feuding since what feels like February. Like,
it's been a while. And it's been one of those things where it's just been people have been getting dragged into this feud. John Moxley and Bryan Danielson got dragged in. So that became the Anarchy in the Arena, which we saw at Double or Nothing. And now, here we are. I think that they're going to give the win to Jericho, Suzuki, and Sammy Guevara. What about you, Andrew?
Oh, shit. I'm not Andrew.
Know your role, young lion.
Uh-huh.
I'm also going
name.
with yeah, apparently. I'm also going with Les Sex Gods. I just think they're gonna win, and then Blood and Guts is on Wednesday. So
you're saying Les Sex Gods?
Yep, and Minoru Suzuki, who is a sex god.
Yeah.
I'll put him in there.
Tyler.
I'm also agreeing with this.
You're agreeing with this? Okay.
Suzuki can't be beat.
He's Murder Grandpa for a reason.
Yeah.
You can't beat him.
Now, will there be shenanigans in this match? Describe, and the closest person to what actually happens is going to win the point here. Andrew, why don't you start us off?
I'm thinking, obviously, yeah, there's gonna be shenanigans. I'm thinking basically the Jericho Appreciation Society is going to they're going to cost Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino the match. They're gonna either distract one of them and they're gonna get pinned, or the ref will be down and they'll come in and hit somebody with a move or something like that, or set Jericho up to hit the Judas effect or something like that, which will lead into a whole. The favorite thing of this feud is post-match brawling, so they're gonna have a big fucking pull-apart post-match brawl that'll involve I don't think, because Danielson's not clear to compete, as we'll talk about next. So I don't think he might show up in the post-match brawl, because I feel like he can probably handle something like that. But yeah, I feel like it'll be most of Blackpool Combat Club, which I will include Santana and Ortiz in, but not Mox or Danielson. And also the Jericho Appreciation Society, and they'll have like a big post-match brawl.
Now, Tyler,
Yes.
you probably have the least amount of context for this. So what do you think is going to happen shenanigans-wise?
No shenanigans. None whatsoever.
No shenanigans? You think it'll be clean?
Clean, fair fight, yeah.
That's a guess.
That's a guess. That's my guess. Don't know. Listen, you gotta be a wild card sometimes.
Yeah.
When you don't know, just be a wild card.
And I feel like we should refrain from just outright telling Tyler we think he's wrong.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
No, it's okay. It's good. We're gonna see it happen anyway.
Personally,
see you wrong real time.
Personally, I think Ty Conti is gonna hit Eddie Kingston in the dick.
You know what? You might be right.
Ty Conti?
Yeah.
She's not in this match.
She's Sammy Guevara's GF. So
fiance.
she'll be there probably. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I forgot.
She gonna pop out.
She'll pop out, hit Eddie Kingston in the dick, and then leave.
Well, I mean, she won't just leave, Matt. You forget she's gonna get
she'll make out with Sammy Guevara. And
she's gonna make a live action hentai with Sammy Guevara.
Oh, wow!
Tentacles and all, my dude.
Speaking of tentacles, Zack Sabre Jr. versus an opponent of Bryan Danielson's choosing. Now, Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the most technically proficient wrestlers of all time. Very good submission wrestler. He, on Twitter, called out Bryan Danielson for a match at Forbidden Door, but Bryan Danielson is legitimately not medically cleared to compete. He got injured. No one is certain when, but it was probably at Anarchy in the Arena, as that was the last match he was involved in. And so Bryan Danielson said he is choosing someone to take his place, and who will be also joining the Blackpool Combat Club. And so this is kind of a two. So the bonus point question for this is, who is Danielson picking for this? It's been kind of alluded to that it'll be a new debut for All Elite Wrestling, and so you just need to, for this one, is it going to be Zack Sabre Jr. or the mystery opponent? And who is the mystery opponent going to be? Andrew, why don't you start us off?
I've been back and forth about whether or not I think, because I feel like in my head, emergency booking, like, Danielson was, I think, going to win this match. If he could have it. But since he's not here, I'm like, do they give the win to ZSJ? Or do they give the win to the new debut guy? Am I answering both right now, or do I pick first and then I say who I think it's going to be?
Answer both now.
Okay. I think the mystery opponent is going to win. And I think the mystery opponent is going to be Johnny Gargano.
All right. Last
I
time
think
we
it's
saw
Johnny
him
Wrestling.
was on NXT. Famously, contract expired, has not been seen since. Tyler.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you have a great answer for this.
It's gonna be Hulk Hogan. No, I don't know.
Sadly, this one is probably the most unfair question because
for Tyler, yeah.
For Tyler, because me and Andrew, of course, have more just general wrestling knowledge.
But if who's that one? You know what? I want to say he's gonna pick me.
Hell yeah.
Tyler
Ostos.
This event is taking place at the United Center in Chicago, where Tyler currently resides.
I reside inside. I actually live in the United Center. I'm like a little goblin under the bleachers.
So, who do you think is going to win then? Is it going to be you or Zack Sabre Jr.?
I'm going to take him out.
You're going to take him out.
What he doesn't know is that I'm going to be carrying a sword.
I guess it doesn't. It's like BJJ ain't real. You just stand up and said it's BJJ ain't real. Just use sword.
You use a sword.
Wrestling's not real. Use a sword.
Just kill him. Yeah, just
the
kill
Drew
him
McIntyre way.
Yeah. If this one comes true, holy shit! Could you imagine?
I'd mark out. That's for sure.
I'd be really confused because
I just dip out of the podcast for a bit. I'm like, hang on, guys, I'll be right back. You see me? I'm the stream with a sword walking out. Oh, yeah.
Then it'll be me and Andrew learning the ropes.
Yeah.
No, man, you're gonna be holding the blade. All right, it's different.
I agree with everyone here in that I think it'll be the mystery opponent. I don't agree with anyone here's picks of mystery opponent. I think it's going to be Claudio Cesaro, former Antonio Cesaro, former Claudio Castelloni, joining Blackpool Combat Club. You know, man who retired William Regal and all.
Yeah. The thing is, you're probably right.
Yeah, it's like it's a hard question to answer and be like interesting with the pick because like there really are only 3 answers and we've picked all 3 answers.
Yeah, it's either Tyler, Gargano, or Cesaro. You know,
right?
It's one of those 3 guys, and everybody knows it's one of those 3 guys. So
equally likely chances.
Yeah.
All 3.
Moving on to the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship match. The champion Will Ospreay facing the challenger Orange Cassidy. Tyler, why don't you start us off this time?
I think it's going to be Orange Cassidy's going to win.
You think Orange Cassidy's going to win?
Gotta give it to the guy who's kind of annoying sometimes.
Are you not a fan of Orange Cassidy?
Not particularly, no.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah, I definitely like Ospreay more. You know, you can't always get what you want.
Are you aware Ospreay's British?
Yeah, but that's okay.
That's why he's picking Orange Cassidy.
That's why I think he's gonna win. Yeah.
Andrew, what do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm also gonna go with Orange Cassidy.
Wow.
My reason being, as a spoiler for later parts of this, this I think, I'm not predicting too many belts changing hands, and so I think there's like a sneak swerve in here somewhere, and I think this is it. OC just returned. You know, I feel like it's the kind of thing where you're like, yeah, we can throw the US title on Orange Cassidy for a minute. You know?
Well, I think you two are wrong. It's definitely going to be Will Ospreay. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think that's why he's not going to win. It's because of that. You're like, nah, it's going to be him for sure, and then nah.
Ah, the good old Vince McMahon booking. Former friend of the show. No longer friend of the show. Divorced from the show.
Yeah, no longer friend. Not formally divorced from the show. Separated from the show for years privately.
Oh man.
There's big Vince T right now, Tyler.
We'll talk about it off recording, Tyler.
Yeah.
Okay. Chew up on what Vince McMahon has been up to.
Is he running for Congress?
No.
Damn.
Some would say he's now qualified to run for Congress.
Oh, is he a pedophile?
No.
Oh.
We'll talk about it off the record.
For the bonus point for this one, how many flips are in this match? Price is Right rules. Tyler.
11.
11 flips.
11 flips. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But it's Will Ospreay.
But Orange Cassidy isn't like a high flyer, really. Right?
That's true. No,
really.
He was formerly he formerly went by Fire Ant.
Yeah, but
and wore a lucha mask, if that's helpful at all.
I don't know. Nah, it's 11.
11 flips. I'm gonna Prices Right him and say 10 flips.
I'm gonna go with 8 flips.
8 flips. So Tyler, no matter what you said, I was always going to go one less than you on this one.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. You could have said 743, and I would have said 742.
Okay.
So, moving on, we have the inaugural All Elite Wrestling All Atlantic Championship match. It's going to be a fatal 4-way for the new title. Malachi Black representing Holland, Pac representing Great Britain, Miro representing Bulgaria, and Tomohiro Ishii representing Japan.
Hey,
Andrew, who do you think's gonna win?
Before I get into my prediction for this match, can we take Britain's great away?
Let's
I'm just gonna say that. Can we they don't need it.
give it to Colombia. Let's give it to Colombia so we can have Grand Colombia back. Viva Gran Colombia.
I'm thinking it's going to Miro the Redeemer.
You think he's gonna beat up God?
Eventually. But first he's gonna beat up these 3 dudes.
Fair enough. I actually think it's gonna go to Tomohiro Ishii. Reason being is that this belt has kind of been pitched as like a traveling belt. So it makes sense to just toss it on the guy who doesn't work for All Elite Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. But Tyler, what do you think?
I also think it's gonna be Tomohiro.
Yeah.
Just because he's a big guy. Big round boy.
He is a big boy.
For sure not gonna go to Pac. For sure not gonna go to Pac, that's for sure. There's no way.
His nickname is the Stone Pitbull.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Now,
yeah.
Will Malachi Black's House of Black interfere?
Yes.
Yes. 100% yes from Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew.
It probably won't be entertaining with old beer.
See, here's because a couple of things. I'm gonna do the classic Andrew ramble for a sec. I think Ishii's an interesting choice. I don't think it's gonna be him. I almost picked him as like my idea being New Japan and AEW basically swap the US and All Atlantic championships, and Ishii gets the All Atlantic belt and Orange Cassidy gets the US title. But I don't want to be wrong too many times. So I'm going with Miro. And yes, of course House of Black is interfering, because House of Black is going to end up pulling, they're going to interfere attacking Pac. Death Triangle's going to come out attacking, fighting them and fighting Malachi Black, and then Miro's going to pin Ishii. That's going to be my pitch for the finish of this match.
I don't think the House of Black is going to interfere. What I think is going to happen is Malachi Black is going to do the Black Mist on Tomohiro Ishii, and it won't work. And then he's going to pin Malachi Black center of the ring.
Nice.
Black Mist is not very effective on Stone Pitbulls.
As it turns out.
Yeah.
Pitbull made of rocks. You can't blind him.
Now moving on to the next title match, we got winner takes all for the IWGP World Tag Team Championships and the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. The Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus the United Empire, Jeff Cobb and Great Khan, the IWGP World Tag Team Champions, versus Roppongi Vice, Trent and Rocky Romero. This match kind of comes to us after FTR kept saying that they were the greatest tag team in the world. United Empire attacked FTR. Roppongi Vice made the save, and this match kind of ended up coming because of that. Now, Tyler, what do you think?
Man, I have no idea. FTR.
FTR, and who in this match do you think takes the pin? Like, which individual person takes the pin? If you need help identifying people, I can help you identify people.
Oh man, I have no idea. Who's the guy with no shirt on what's that? Ropey Vice?
Ravagi Vice. That's Trent.
Him.
That's Trent. Question
Trent?
mark. Trent?
I'm just gonna put Trent question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how
his
you would
name.
want it.
That's actually his name.
Yeah, he's Trent.
I'm gonna agree with Tyler. I think FTR is gonna win this one. Get all of them tag belts. And I think that Rocky Romero's gonna take the pin, as he is like the pin taker. Andrew, what do you think?
I also think FTR is going to win. I also think Rocky Romero's taking the pin. I feel bad for him. Yeah, I think Rocky Romero eats the pin here. Roppongi Vice, I think, is they're a great tag team. I think they got like a ways to come up. I think they've done a good job through this build of like endearing Roppongi Vice to Western audiences. And the problem is I don't think they can win this match. And I don't think they're gonna want Jeff Cobb or Great Khan to get pinned either. So I think it'll be you know what? I lied. I'm changing my guess. It's gonna be Great Khan getting pinned.
Wow.
Reason why I'm swerving there is I think they're going to. No, I'm not swerving back. I refuse. I'm picking Great Khan because I think they don't want the IWGP Tag Team Championships to like change hands without the tag champs getting pinned. That's a lie. They definitely want to do that because then they're just going to have Jeff Cobb and Great Khan win them back off FTR, like probably relatively soon after Forbidden Door. But hey, I'm not swerving back. I promise it's gonna be Great Khan eating the pin.
And now in one of our last three matches, we got for the AEW Women's World Championship, Thunder Rosa taking on the challenger Toni Storm. I think it's gonna go to Toni Storm. Which here's why. Thunder Rosa's reign has been kind of lackluster, and it does seem from like stuff I've read online, she seems to be having like issues with the brass kind of deal. And Toni Storm is fresh. She's red hot right now, and I think it's time to just like pull the trigger early on Toni Storm. They've been really hesitant on any of their women signees, like immediately taking the women's world title. So I'm thinking that Toni Storm's going to be the first one to kind of change that.
I think you're wrong. I think it's going to be Thunder Rosa that wins. I think she's retaining. I'll get into more of why and what I think is going to happen on our follow-up question for this match. And I'm not necessarily... It's not a booking decision that I think I would like to make or that I would like seeing. But I think I'm right, and I think it's too early to pull the trigger on Toni Storm.
I think it's going to be Thunder Rosa because AEW doesn't know how to match women's wrestling. They don't know how to make good fights.
That is true. That's very true.
I think that's the take. Is that the one that makes it the worst? The worst decision is the one that's going to make it work.
Oh boy, can I go first on the follow up?
For sure.
Because doing the classic like college Tyler, I'm just piggybacking off of your response there, because I think you're right, and I don't think AEW's been super great about the booking in their women's division, and I think my answer for our follow up question is just shenanigans ? Again, and my answer for that is the worst booking decision of all, and also the most AEW booking, AEW women's division booking decision of all, which is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is going to cost Toni Storm the match. Furthering their feud, which they've been feuding for longer than Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho have, it feels like. Even though I don't think it's true. But but they're going to continue that. Britt Baker eventually will beat Thunder Rosa for the women's championship, and that's who Toni Storm will finally be. But at Forbidden Door, I don't think it's Toni Storm's day. I think the dentist interferes.
I think they're kind of building towards Toni Storm taking the title and then feuding with Jamie Hayter. And so I don't think there will be shenanigans, but I think there will be like a little post-match, like Britt Baker shows up after the match with Jamie Hayter in tow, but then like Jamie Hayter kind of takes the spotlight a little bit. Personally. Tyler, what do you think in terms of shenanigans?
Don't think there'll be shenanigans, but I also don't know the lore as well. But yeah, I don't think there'll be shenanigans. I think it'll just be women's wrestling again.
All right.
AEW style.
And now for our penultimate match, our first of our world title matches, of our men's world title matches, we got for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the champion Jay White taking on Adam Page, Adam Cole, and Kazuchika Okada. Tyler, do you think it's the Switchblade, the Hangman, the Rainmaker, or Adam Cole walking out with the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship?
It's going to be Hangman.
You think it's going to be Hangman?
Because Top Gun is the new big movie, and there's a character in that named Hangman. They're going to capitalize on this.
Big brained.
Big brain. The
Well,
biggest brain. Personally, Switchblade is walking in with it. I think Switchblade is walking out with it. I think he's going to pin Adam Cole in this match. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
I think I'm torn between my desire to pick a different guy than both of you and my like desire to be right. Just for the spirit of competition, I think Okada's picking the belt back up.
All right. I think these are all... I like how we're just like, fuck Adam Cole.
Well, Adam Cole's definitely not winning is the thing.
Yeah, he is. I think Adam Cole is in this match so that none of the other three have to take the pin.
Well, I think between that and to give Adam Cole credit, I think Adam Cole will be there to help make the match fucking fire. I think this match is gonna rock, but I feel like they didn't want to do a 3-way, so they decided to do 4, and they put Adam Cole in.
Yeah. Now, for our bonus point, all of these guys have really well-protected finishers. I'd actually say Adam Cole might not have that well-protected a finisher. I think the boom has been kicked out of. It's all right. But the Jay White's Blade Runner, Hangman Page's Buckshot Lariat, and Okada's Rainmaker finishers. Those finishers are really well-protected. I don't think anyone has kicked out of the Rainmaker, period.
That's not true.
That's not true? Who's kicked out of the Rainmaker?
Kenny Omega.
Oh, right. Kenny kicked out of the... Kenny has kicked out of the Rainmaker. I think one of the only people to kick out of the Buckshot in AEW is Punk. And the Blade Runner's always been well protected. So does anyone kick out of any finishers? Who kicks out of it, and which finisher do they kick out of? So,
this is, in my head... It's kind of a big story beat. Part of the build was, or the beginning of the build really, for this match was Hangman Page calling out Okada, who was at the time the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. I think Hangman's going to kick out of the Rainmaker in this match. As a sort of tease for maybe a future Forbidden Door one-on-one between the two of them, or even if Hangman goes over and does some stuff in Japan. That's my prediction. Is I think there will be a sequence where after things break down between Adam Cole and Jay White, they both end up taking each other out and out of the ring, and you get the moment where Hangman faces off with Okada, which they also teased this week on Dynamite, with the two of them kind of staring down a little bit. And then you'll see them actually go back and forth, and it'll end with Okada hitting a Rainmaker on Hangman, and Hangman will kick out. And it's supposed to leave you going, who the fuck between these two guys, you know? Like, I think that's just what I think will happen.
I kind of regret having you go first, Andrew, because I agree 100% with you on this. If only for the visual of Okada hitting the Rainmaker on Hangman, going for the pin, 1-2 kick out, and the shocked look on Okada's face when Hangman kicks out of the Rainmaker. Yeah, I agree with you. Tyler.
Oh yeah, that's one I have no clue.
Would you like some finisher names? Would that be helpful?
I'm gonna say Okada kicks out. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking. Yeah, Okada's gonna kick out.
Of whose move?
Fucking Adam Cole's, whatever.
Alright.
You know, dead on. I was about to do a bit where I was going to tell you, like, if you wanted the really easy guide to probably being right in this follow-up question, pick one of the three guys that's not Adam Cole, say they're going to kick out of Adam Cole's finisher.
Yeah.
I feel like that'll happen 100%. My Hangman kicking out of the Rainmaker, I'm like 75% sure it's going to happen, and I'm going to pop super hard when it does.
I'm like 20% sure it's going to happen. I'm not that sure that Hangman will kick out of the Rainmaker, but I want him to. Which is why I picked it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, final match on the card for the interim AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. So to give the build up to this match, CM Punk, the AEW World Champion, was supposed to face Hiroshi Tanahashi. He injured his foot and had to have surgery, and so is not medically cleared to compete at this event. And so they decided to not vacate the title, but instead announce a interim champion until CM Punk is able to come back, and then they will unify the titles. So we got former AEW World Champion Jon Moxley versus the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I got Tanahashi in this match. For the longest time, I've been saying it's going to be Mox, but I think they're going to swerve us on this. I think this is the swerve of the whole show, is that Tanahashi's going to go over Moxley. And Tanahashi's going to carry the belt around with him during the G1. Yeah. Tyler.
Tanahashi.
Easy
one.
clap. Andrew.
Both of y'all are wrong. It's Mox all the way. It'd be interesting to have Tanahashi carry the belt around for like all of the G1. I don't think I feel like my question of whether or not they might commit to doing that is actually how long CM Punk's supposed to be out for. Because I'm not 100% on how long it's going to take for him to get back. He's already had successful surgery. So I'm not sure how long he'll be. And I think they're going to want to have somebody on Dynamite week to week with the interim title. And I just feel pretty confident they're going to put it on Mox.
That's fair enough. Now for the final bonus point, will there be blood in this match?
Yes.
Now, on one hand, Jon Moxley, very famous for bleeding. Tanahashi, though, typically his matches don't have bloods, but Tyler, you immediately said yes. Go ahead and talk about it a little bit.
It'd just be cool. That's I don't got much to. I don't know either of these guys, but that guy, he wants to bleed. You can see it in him. You could
You
see it in
said
that
that
forehead.
guy. Which one?
Moxley, look at it.
You're
Look at his
wrong.
forehead. Look at his forehead. It just
You're-
wants blood to come
you're-
out of it.
You're super dead on, because John Moxley is a guy who wants to bleed. And I am also saying yes, like, emphatically, there's gonna be blood in this match. It's gonna be Moxley. I honestly, I feel like I'd certainly pop if Tanahashi also bled in this match. But I feel pretty certain Mox is gonna bleed.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there's not gonna be any blood in this match. It'll be a violent mess, but without blood. I'm gonna go the opposite of everyone. Honestly, just to be contrarian.
Valid.
Yeah, and so, there is a chance that tomorrow on Friday during Rampage there will be more matches added. Those matches just are not going to count towards whoever wins predictions for Forbidden Door. We just don't have the foresight to be able to know what those matches are. And so, that's predictions.
That's all our predictions. I want to, before we close the whole video content sub podcast, Learning the Ropes does predictions bit. I just want to throw the question out there of predict which match you guys think is going to steal the show the hardest.
I think it's going to be the Fatal 4-Way for
Which
the
one?
All-Atlantic Championship.
Ah.
I mean, you got Pac and Malachi Black, and those two just always put on a great show. And I want to see Miro and Tomohiro Ishii just trying to, like, clothesline each other's heads off, you know? I feel like if literally they just, like, Pac and Malachi Black took one corner of the ring, and Miro and Tomohiro Ishii took the other corner, and just, like, it was just Malachi Black and Pac kicking each other, and Miro and Tomohiro Ishii just, like, chopping the shit out of each other, it would be the best match on the card.
Tyler?
Go with Moxley versus Tanahashi. I'm gonna go with that one.
Valid.
The main event, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I get
understand.
lost in some of the more bigger match stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
like a good like a good 1v1.
Yeah. That's valid. I'm between two. I'm gonna say, so on one hand, part of me wants to say the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match is gonna steal the show, and I think it definitely has a shot at being the best match on the card. But also, part of me is like, how is it stealing the show when this match is kind of supposed to be the show? You know, like sort of how I feel about the Mox and Tanahashi match. Is I'm expecting this to be good. I think Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy is going to steal the show. Because both of those guys can work. Orange Cassidy is surprisingly good when he actually tries. As rare as that may be. And so I think that match will actually be... It'll be the, like, hidden gem of the card that's like... I wasn't really that hyped for it going in, and now I'm like, this match is gonna slap.
And with that, we'll be back live on Sunday night for AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door with our live reactions. Immediately following that will be episode 9 of Learning the Ropes, the podcast where two lifelong wrestling fans show their non-wrestling fan friend wrestling.
Hi.
Is that torture? Is that good? Who the fuck knows at this point? Any last words? Go.
The wheels on the bus. Go fuck yourself.